I am the one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and you know exactly what this is. This is my review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. By the time you see this video, it's probably going to be Thursday, because right now I'm shooting it, and it's Wednesday night. I haven't got around to actually do this video because I had a lot of finals, and finally I completed all the finals today. I saw this movie on Saturday, and wow, it was great. It was actually a lot better than I expected. So without further ado, let's talk about this movie. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Yes, this movie is called Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It's different from the other Star Wars movie where it's labeled episode such and such. This movie is actually a spin-off of the Star Wars universe, yet it ties in between the events of episode 3, which is Revenge of the Sith, and episode 4, A New Hope. So when you watch A New Hope, you're kind of curious, why is the rebels running away from the Empire? And if you haven't seen A New Hope, I'm not going to spoil it, but they retrieve the plans to the Death Star, and something happens to the Death Star. And in this movie, it actually covers how the rebels stole the blueprints to the Death Star and managed to transfer it to the other rebels, who we later on reveal in A New Hope. Now that's all I'm going to say about this movie. If I say anything else, I'm going to end up spoiling the entire fun for you. Let's talk about the things that I really like in this movie. First, I really like that this Star Wars is an actual war compared to the other Star Wars film. It is so beautifully shot, and the cinematography is amazing. I really like the character of Jyn Erso and Cassian. Is that his name? That's one of the problems with this movie. It took me a little bit to actually learn the characters' names, and their names don't really get mentioned a lot in the film. I actually have to Google it afterwards to find out who was who, but Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones, was really good. My favorite character out of the entire cast was K2SO. He is a robot, or one of the droids from the Empire that was converted into working for the rebels. Actually, he was reprogrammed in a better sense of vocabulary. And another character that I really liked was Donnie Yen. I think he was terrific in the film. He had some really good lines, and if you've seen the movie, you definitely know where the quote in the beginning of this video comes from. It came from Donnie Yen, and he had some really awesome moments. The first 20 minutes of this movie, in my opinion, is kind of boring because it builds up to the character Jyn Erso. However, the movie, as it progresses, gets better and better, especially the last 40 to 50 minutes of the film where they show the entire war and the rebels battling the Empire. It is so amazing. It's unbelievable. Just so terrific. It's so memorable that you're just going to watch this movie over and over again just for those last 40 to 50 minutes of the entire film. So beautifully shot. Oh my god, it's so awesome. So in this movie, two characters from A New Hope are brought back into this film, and they are actually CG characters. I'm not going to tell you who these characters are because it is a giant surprise, and it actually took me by surprise that they were actually shown in this movie. The only problem I have with the CG is that after a while, you start to notice it. At first, when you see it, you're like, oh my god, that's insane. I can't believe they resurrected this character into the movie. But since they have so much lines in the movie and they keep appearing every now and then, you start noticing more and more. If the director and the cinematographer crew or whoever was in charge of creating this character, if they cut down their runtime or their appearance in the movie, I think it would have flowed a little more better. But in my opinion, it's still great to add this character into the movie because I think it's crucial for him to be in this movie. Let's get into Darth Vader, shall we? As you can tell, I was really excited to talk about Darth Vader, and yes, he is in this movie. If you've seen the trailer, you definitely got all goosebumps all over your arms and face that you know Darth Vader is in this movie. He's definitely in this film, and I'm so glad that James Earl Jones came back to do the voice for Darth Vader, except for he's not in the movie for that much of the runtime. I think approximately he's in the movie for about 6 or 7 minutes, but those 6-7 minutes are insanely well done. It is crazy. You see the dark side of him, especially the part toward the end, which I'm not going to spoil at all, but he goes crazy with his lightsaber, and that's all I'm going to say. That scene is jaw-dropping, and alone, if you just want to watch those 6-7 minutes in total of Darth Vader, it is so worth it. I'm probably expecting some kind of compilation on YouTube that someone's going to piece those scenes together. It is amazing. If we got a little more of that, I think it would be too focused into Darth Vader's character. because he gets built up in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So I think it's perfect amount that they only put 6-7 minutes of him in this movie. Alright, let's talk about the things that I didn't like about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The first thing that I didn't like is that there's so much exposition in this film. The only character that we actually learn about with like full detail is Jyn Erso and her father. All the other characters are not really in depth compared to Jyn Erso. They're just there as rebels to help her. Especially I think that the Donnie Yen character could have been explained a little more because he had so much chemistry with the other Asian character in the film, like Poe Dameron and Finn in The Force Awakens. I think that they already had a chemistry together, but we don't learn where the chemistry has originated from. And the Cassian character, aside from one thing that he mentions about him being in the Rebel at a young age, we don't really know a lot about him, and he's just in here doing a lot of things. It's great that he's part of the Rebel, but I just want some more character development, like The Force Awakens, where each character, you learn so much about them, even just in the beginning when they have maybe some small lines or a small role. Just by that, you learn so much about the character. Another issue that I have with this film is the opening of the film. There's actually no crawl for this film like the other Star Wars movie, where when the movie starts you just see a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then the crawl comes and the Star Wars theme comes up. This movie doesn't actually have that, and it kind of bothered me a little bit, because I think if you're a person who has never seen the other Star Wars movie, when you watch it you're like, maybe something happened before this. So I think it's great if in the Blu-ray release or somewhere in the future that they add in the crawl to help those viewers who hasn't seen the other Star Wars movies, so it clarifies what's going on or what's about to happen in this film. That's my only small nitpick about the crawl, but I think, in my opinion, if you put it in all the other Star Wars, they should put it in this, and they don't play the Star Wars theme until like the end of the movie. Another issue that I have with this movie is the pacing in the first 20 minutes, and also a little bit about the Forrest Whitaker character. I'm not exactly sure what was the entire point of him in the movie. He was just there to have like a really messed up voice and trying to say that stuff with the rebels kind of betrayed him a little bit. But asides that, I think the rest of the movie is entirely terrific. I know you're all going to ask me this. Do I like Rogue One more, or do I like The Force Awakens? Alright, I am going to be completely honest with you right now. I've seen The Force Awakens about 4 times already, and I've only seen Rogue One once, so I can't really tell you my final decision right now. But, you know, quick heads up based on the observations and the opinions that I told you earlier in this video. If you want to watch a Star Wars that has more character development and throws in a giant nostalgia to the original trilogy, I definitely recommend checking out Star Wars The Force Awakens. It does that a hell lot better than this movie. In this movie, everything's more newly introduced, and you're trying to get to know each character and have a new Star Wars. It actually changes all the stuff about what Star Wars is, and I think Gareth Edwards did a terrific job. I don't like Godzilla, if that's another question you people ask me, because Gareth Edwards directed Godzilla. I think Godzilla was a mediocre movie, so making Rogue One is definitely a good step up from Godzilla. I just think Godzilla is really boring after the first 40 minutes or so, and this movie is a complete opposite. The first 20 minutes is boring, the rest of the movie is insanely terrific. But yeah, if you haven't seen The Force Awakens, go watch it. I can't give you my final answer whether I like this one more or Rogue One more. It's just you know, your own opinion. Whatever cup of tea you want to drink, go ahead, pick a blue pill, red pill, up to you. Right now I'm in the undecided pill. And of course I did come prepared wearing my Star Wars shirt. Don't think I did this video without wearing it. And yeah, that's basically my entire review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. Do give me a subscription. It really helps me, and I really appreciate your effort in subscribing. I recommend seeing this movie with your brother, sister, family members, whoever hasn't seen Star Wars. Go check it out. It's a really good movie. If they don't know what's happening, do explain to them what happened in the prequels, so you know, they get a clear understanding, because the crawl is missing in the beginning of the movie. And also, my entire rating of this film is definitely going to be an 8.5 out of 10. this is just my first initial review and my first initial thoughts of the film. Maybe it'll change when I watch it a second or third time. Who knows? But 8.5 is, I think, is a really fair rating for this film. And if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. It's really good. I highly recommend checking it out. So thank you for watching, and I hope I see you guys next time in my next video. See you guys.